I started the carnivore diet 21 months ago. A lot has changed, but before we can see the difference, let's start with where I was at. I have high cholesterol, high lipids, triglycerides. I have scleroderma, I have RA. So I'm like, well, no wonder, you know, if I literally consumed a gallon of water, that's 8 pounds of water, or 8 pounds of fluid that my body is now holding on to. My hands feel, between my fingers feel kind of swollen. I have a problem with moderation. Obviously, I did not get this overweight being able to control what I was eating. So I just had cake one day and jumped into carnivore the next. I was having terrible indigestion on the SAD diet. Everything I ate, lettuce, salad, chicken, didn't matter, steak, gave me indigestion. Terrible. You go somewhere, you're like in 5 seconds trying to assess, is that gonna hold me or am I gonna break it? I had 17 different comorbidities. I was 360 pounds and gaining. I was honestly suicidal, depressed, anxious. I had gotten to the point where I didn't actually want to leave the house anymore. My life was falling apart. And then I discovered the carnivore diet. And then things have drastically changed since. I used to wake up every single morning, look straight at my husband and tell him I wish I hadn't woken up that morning. I can't imagine what he felt hearing me say that every day, that I wish I just didn't exist anymore, that I would no longer be a burden on him, my family, or those around me. But it's no longer like that. I have a regret, and my one regret is that I didn't start this journey sooner. At the same time, I don't know if I would have been ready to start it sooner than when I did. I don't know if I would have been in the right mental or emotional place to, but I am beyond blessed and thankful that I did start when I did. My words to you, if you're watching this and you're struggling, whether you're overweight, underweight, bedbound, or feel bad, don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till the perfect circumstances, because for me, tomorrow was the next day and the next day and the next day, and then tomorrow never actually came. And I spent pretty much my entire adult life morbidly obese, sick, and pretty much decaying. And the thing is you don't have to, no matter how old you are or where you're at in your life, one step at a time, one bite at a time makes a difference. My whole mantra is progress over perfection. We are imperfect human beings. We are never going to do anything to 100%. But if we do it 5 steps out of 10, that's 5 steps forward. So here's some motivation for you. You saw where I started, but now look at where I have gotten so far. And keep in mind, I'm not completely done with my journey just yet. It's raining right now, but gonna walk the girls, rain or shine. I also got upgraded to 2 dogs. So I got Ryu and Rosie. Day 8 of me and beautiful Ryu walking in a row. She's absolutely loving it. Oh, should have added 2 + 2. Hilltop Park means you're doing switchbacks up the mountain. This is where we're at. You can barely see the tip of our car all the way down at the bottom, and we're not even halfway. Olive and I are getting ready to do our little bikey ride. Ready, baby? Oh.
Love me for that. You know that.
The doggies on the doggy walk, and I have one boxing behind my legs. We just walked up Lake Watkins Park. We started all the way down at the water down there, and look how beautiful. I went from using a rollator walker just to get around to now I hike, bike, paddleboard, and for the first time this week in 9 years, Scott and I played an hour of tennis. Mind you, I didn't have to sit down one time. It was an hour of nonstop tennis. Now, did we spend more time picking the balls up than hitting them? Yes, we did. We're not very good. But the fact that I can do something that I absolutely love, that I honestly thought I would never be able to do again. Just take a look at where I was to where I am now. I know because you're watching a video, it can be like, oh, that was like a blink of an eye. But I can tell you, it has literally been 21 months. 21 months of taking small steps forward that have added up into this change. Most of those steps weren't actually about weight loss. They were about addressing my emotional issues, addressing my habits around my eating, right? It had nothing necessarily to do with the food I ate, but the habits I had around it. Dealing with my stress, dealing with my severe depression and anxiety. All of that has just like vanished. Now, it didn't happen from one day to the next, but every month that went by, I noticed I felt less heavy. I felt like less of a cloud following me, that there is promise in the future, that I have a future, that I found my meaning for life and my why along this path. That is what's moved me forward. If you're feeling lost, don't despair. I know it's a place I lived for a very long time. The smallest things can feel overwhelming. Dishes in the sink, they can feel like, oh God, that's just too much. And we just kind of melt down inside. There is a way out through carnivore and through changing our habits that make life beautiful, that give us the chance to prosper and grow and love ourselves again. I also want to talk to those of you that have tried carnivore or are on it right now, or keto, whatever it is, and you keep falling off and you keep getting frustrated at yourself. One, you should congratulate yourself for the fact that you keep getting back up. Even if you don't feel like you're necessarily making progress, standing back up, that's a strength. That develops resilience. And I can tell you that is really important skill to have, because not only in weight loss and health, but in life in general, we need to have some resilience to really be able to stand up at the hard times. Second, if you are still struggling, a big thing I strongly suggest is reading the book Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg. I have been doing coaching through their academy recently about it. I've actually read their book 3 times now. It is, maybe that's the second regret I have. I wish I had had that book in the beginning. I never realized how my habits actually drove my life. My biggest habit, eating my emotions and not dealing with them. I didn't want to feel sad, angry, depressed, anxious, you name it. I thought I could just eat them away. And that's how I got to 360 pounds, is I literally ate my emotions. Through Tiny Habits, it teaches us that we can make really small habit changes that add up into a positive self-worth. When I started this, my self-worth was like 100 feet below the ground. I thought I was worthless. I absolutely hated myself. I despised myself. I didn't think I was worth the air that I breathed. Now, through completing Tiny Habits every single day, I've helped identify my goals and aspirations in life, and I'm actually proud of myself. And this is what I want you guys to get to, is being proud of yourself. We change best by feeling good about ourselves, not bad. And here's the thing, I have not had a linear weight loss journey, carnivore journey. It was like this, and then this, and then this. It's been a lot of character development, addressing my stress, and the big thing, believing in myself. I had no confidence, and I discovered through all this too is I was not my word. I, especially to myself, never did what I said I was going to do for myself. I'm not going to eat that entire cake. I ate the entire cake. I'm going to get up and go walk around the block. I did not get up and go walk around the block. I constantly lied to myself. But here's the thing. It might seem like this endless spiral of how the heck do you get out of it? Through Tiny Habits. They have taught me, BJ Fogg, how important it is to do the literal smallest step. I remember my dad always telling me, aim for the stars and you'll hit the moon. But how many times have you, or even myself, aimed for the stars and literally didn't get 5 feet off the ground? And that's what happened. And then I felt like a failure. I felt like I can't do anything. I'm an absolute utter failure. Tiny Habits takes on a different perspective with this. It says, put the bar 1/2 inch off the ground. Because guess what? You can always step over that bar, which means you can always be a winner. Remember what I said earlier? We change best when we feel good about ourselves, not bad. Well, let's make ourselves feel good about ourselves. Let's, instead of dealing with that entire dish pile in the kitchen, deal with one plate at a time. Because guess what? One plate is a lot more than no plates, which currently that's what I did, is I just didn't do anything and I felt bad about myself. But one plate's progress. That's moving forward. That is why I made my logo the mammoth. Because mammoths are bigger than elephants. And how do you eat a mammoth? One bite at a time. Kind of has two reasonings, right? Like one bite at a time via the food we eat, but also by tackling the large, difficult things in our lives, even if right now they're dishes, one step at a time, one bite at a time. Don't worry about the entire mammoth. Worry about that just tiny little piece in front of you. Address that, give yourself kudos, pat on the back. Yes, I said I was gonna do what I was gonna do, and then move forward. Because I promise you, it'll turn into a snowball. It'll get bigger and bigger and bigger until it turns into an absolute avalanche, and you won't even recognize who you are. Because this Amanda is nothing like that Amanda. I don't even recognize myself in a really good way. I might not be skinny yet. I might not be at my ideal weight yet, but I am proud, confident, and determined, and that is not something I could say Amanda from 10 years ago was at the same weight. So my last little piece, if you're hesitating, just take the leap. You might not know everything you need to know or feel comfortable knowing. You might not know carnivore front to back, but take the leap. Don't wait. Or if you're doing keto or ketovore, whatever it is that you're deciding to do for yourself, don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till Monday, because Monday is a great day to start. Start today, not tomorrow. I promise you will never look back and be like, gosh, I wish I had waited that entire week to start my journey. You won't, I promise you. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and the more people we can reach with the video, the more we can help, because there are more than enough people out there suffering, feeling lost, lonely, and not knowing how to move forward. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Olive says thank you as well. She's our director asleep on her chair. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Magic! Adjust. Oops, sorry, my nose is itching again. But now, through completing, forgot again. I literally forgot again. I had no confidence. I didn't believe in myself. And earthquake! Oh, she's gonna lay down on the white seat. Okay, you can be our director. We change best about feeling, but it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. Blah, blah, blah.